Come, hear the tale of our ragtag crew, brought together upon a mysterious island by fate. They have lost, they have won, and now, alongside a rebel faction, the truth on the wind, they fight against the evil Eterines. Behind it all, an alien being of immeasurable power begins to rise once again. As the land grows cold, our party stands as a light in the darkness. Now, welcome to the Swordcast Adventures.
Gather around, my friends, so I can regale you of our recent adventures. After leaving the verdant catacombs, we headed south through the mountains into the shifting sands. We decided to take refuge during the heat of the day and travel by night. Our goal? To reach the mysterious Archive of Order. As we approached the archive, the fabled guardian rose from the sands to greet us, and after a short chase, it became clear we would not escape this foe. So I bravely turned to face the clockwork Leviathan, and that is where we begin this episode of the Swordcast Adventures.
So, after a relatively short chase across this odd clay-like plain, you found a few of your companions lagging behind upon a new carpet that had not the speed to keep up. As two of your party members dashed across this plain, a large, gargantuan beast followed close behind, taking up the mantle that he has so chosen for himself. Metolius stands his ground, trying to lead this creature away from rain. We stand now as this creature rises forth, a whirring mass of metal that's spinning in on itself like a drill, but so many drills. As it breaches the clay, Metolius stands his ground, the stalwart protector that he is, but it is Rain's turn. Rain, I would like you to roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Please.
Point of order, I do believe there are a couple held actions as well to resolve.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the second the worm came out of the ground. That is correct.
I would like to fire.
Okay.
So I'm just going to fire. And I guess as I am firing, I'm going to do the thing. 1 second, I need to pull up the words. Do I have to actually be wronged by it? I was swift death to those who have wronged me. And I'm going to dedicate this as my sworn enemy.
Nice.
And then I will fire...
Is that like a hunter's mark thing?
This, my fancy new bow. Oath of the Eladrin. Firing. It is going to be a non-sharpshooter attack for a dirty 20.
A dirty 20 hits.
Sweet. Okay. It's going to take a whole bunch of damage.
That is 4 points of damage.
Do you get to just do that every hit for somebody that's your sworn enemy?
Yes. I believe that is every hit, not once a turn.
What? That's insane.
And that's not even all. That is my oath damage. It's going to take 10 points of magical piercing. It's going to take 15 magical points from Oath of the Eladrin and it being my sworn enemy. It's going to take 4 poison from the grasping arrow that is attacking it and is now completely surrounded by thorns. And if it tries to move, it's going to take some more slashing damage.
I'm going to trade my fucking weapon in. Whatever we get next, I'm grabbing that shit. That's fucking early.
But that's my held action.
Then I believe... Amelia, did you have a held action?
I believe I held a firebolt.
I believe you did too.
So Amelia would cast that. And critically fails.
Oof.
Your firebolt flies off, hitting the sands. Near you, Metolius, you see a bit of sand blacken and then grow almost crystalline.
Can't talk now. Getting turned into hamburger meat.
Yep. Rain, you hear an odd sound. The change in the thrumming of the creature that was digging below your feet changes and is now a whirring, shifting, screeching sound of metal exposed to the elements in the air. You also hear the sound of Mastolius's footsteps stop. You know your companion has halted his progress forward. What do you do?
Well, first I turn around to see what's happening. I'm assuming I can see everything. There's no like sandstorm blocking my vision or anything. Okay. I see Metolius up against this thing. I am going to... Are these like sand outcroppings we're seeing on the map? Are those like actually there? Are those things I can hide behind? Like...
They're more just like rough patches of dirt intermixed with like the roiled clay. They aren't actually elevated.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna shoot this thing, I suppose, if I can't... Oh wait, I can't sneak attack because Metolius is next to it. Never mind.
It's true.
So...
And you're blessed still.
Ooh.
Oh, what is that again? It's plus...
It's a D4 to
A
attack
D4?
rolls and
Got it.
saving throws.
Excellent. Well, I can just get this thing without advantage from where I'm standing at 80 feet away. So I'll roll to hits. I'm assuming a 25 hits.
I would say.
So I don't need to add that D4.
You do not.
And that will be 13 piercing and 31 sneak attack. 44 altogether.
Ooh.
That's a hefty chunk.
Yep. So my bolt like kind of gets into one of the crevices and starts like nicking up the gears a little bit.
I was going to say you hear a grinding, rattling sound as the bolt is just like sucked straight into the mechanism, but it does seem to catch in the gears.
I guess if I have nowhere to hide, there's nothing I can really do with my bonus action. I'm going to stay 80 feet away from this thing. So I think that's my turn.
Okay. The creature's turn. Metolius, this creature comes to a screeching halt in front of you, rises up high above you. And as it does, it first tries to just slam this horrid maw of spinning spiked wheels down towards you.
I'll hold up my magic shield in hopes that it doesn't hurt me.
Well, with a natural 1, it miscalculates as this Rain's bolt catches into an odd movement gear and clicks for just a moment as it slams down in front of you. The clay is just thrown everywhere, and you see almost like hungry jaws rise back up, like the look of a blood-soaked wolf's maw, but with dirt. It then spins around, and out of the ground, you see this long, barbed, almost needle-like protrusion come out. Its tail rises and stabs forward at you. That's a non-natural 20.
Yep, that'll do. That's exactly my armor class.
Oof. As you brace against it, you feel it deflect off the shield that you hold, but not enough, as you feel the stinger slide off the metal of the shield and straight into your side.
It's probably like a harpoon-sized thing, right?
Oh yeah, you're definitely like, yeah.
Okay.
You feel it like cut deep, but pass by. It doesn't like impale you. Instead, as it cuts into you, you take 17 points of slashing damage, or piercing damage, opening a wide wound in your side. But I now need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
I need to make a Constitution saving throw for concentration, because that will determine whether I get a D4 on this saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 19 plus 7, so I passed that, and then the Constitution save 20 total.
You take 20 points of poison damage as you see this black ichor like drip off the harpoon-like tail.
Was that a success or a failure?
That was a success.
Okay, thank you. Noted. Now I must make another concentration check with advantage.
Fucking rough.
Yep, it was kind of rough. Yes, I pass.
Okay. The worm rears up and you hear the gears inside rev and begin to spin wildly. This sound like an unearthly howl starts to emanate out of the creature, as it is Grimtuck's turn now. Grimtuck, you are also, if I'm not mistaken, a good ways above your companion, at least 20 feet, if not 30.
I will rage, and I will running jump off the carpet and head towards the creature. Raging would allow me to move 60 feet.
I will say that it is 30 feet down from where you guys
Does
are.
that count as movement, or?
Well, I'm just saying you're going to take some amount of damage from going down.
Okay. Cool. Does it take away from any of my movement if I run and jump off of here, or what?
Can someone do the hypotenuse 30 to 60? And how far?
Well, falling doesn't take movement, does it? I'm just.
But you're jumping off the carpet, right?
Oh yeah, if I'm trying to go out. I just don't know. I don't know.
Well, that's the question. Are you literally like stepping off the carpet and then rushing, or are you?
I mean, I imagine I would like standing leap. I'm just standing up and running and jumping off the damn thing, but I don't have a whole lot of like clearance to like get like 10 feet back and like haul ass. I don't think.
If you hold 1 foot on the carpet and step really far back and then just like launch yourself forward. No, that's not how it works.
So I just need to know how many feet out I can go.
Well, standing long jump is
half your strength score, I believe. So if it's 25, it's 12 feet out.
Whichever will get me there the furthest distance I can move.
What's your strength score?
My strength score is 20. Well, no, 25.
You get 12 feet out from there. You fall 30 feet. So you are officially, pretty much there as you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall. You land with a hefty thud. The clay around you just kind of explodes out.
Cool. So I'm raged. So I'm going to just move forward. How much of more of my movement do I have after that?
I mean, you move 12 feet.
Okay, cool. So I can make it like from where I was. If we're not doing any kind of minus there, I can make it here. And I will, to get its attention, I will hit it with the Pyre Maul.
I'll hit it with a hammer.
17 to hit.
17 does not hit.
I will swing on it again. 32 to hit.
32 does not. Yes, of course that hits.
Okay. And 2d6, 16, 17, 18, 19 damage.
Okay. So you run up and with the Pyre Maul, you slam it into the creature's side. You hear a hefty kind of metallic screeching as you see a bit of it dent in.
That's all I can do because I took my bonus action to rage.
Sounds good. You now stand there in the side of this creature, which isn't even fully exposed, though its gargantuan size is evident. Metolius.
I'm not hamburger meat, but I'm not feeling great because I just got it poisoned. I'm going to move around this side of the worm and flank with Grimtuck. We do that in this game. I almost forgot. First attack. That is a 19. No, that's not true at all. That's a 25. That's 25.
25 hits.
All right. 25 damage for the first strike. And I'll do it again. 22 to hit.
22 hits.
That's going to be another 18 points of damage, but I'm going to spend a level 2 spell slot and smite.
Okay.
Oh wow, that is a terrible smite roll.
That is.
Yeah, another 6, so 18 plus 6, 24 points of damage.
Okay.
I rolled a 3, a 2, and a 1 on my d8s for my smite.
Wow.
Metolius sidles around this creature standing on the opposite of his companion Grimtuck. As he raises up the claw of Talos, he cuts into the beast with one swift slash, and the second one down explodes with a radiant light. As you see into this creature's internal mechanism, as you begin to cut through the kind of almost shell of the beast, you see whirring, spinning gears, all moving in tandem. Okay, is that all, Metolius?
Yes, that is all.
Okay. Eldon.
As I pull the bow back and fire again, I just realized an extra thing, which is that my sworn enemy, I have advantage on attacks against it, so I'm going to I'll be using sharpshooter for all of these shots. First shot, rolling with advantage. That's gonna be a critical.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
That's a lot of damage.
We're using max damage rules. So 17 plus 8, so 25 for the flat damage. Then I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get faster at this. And then there's my oath bow damage, which is another 10. So 35 damage on the first hit.
Plus your oath bow is maximized too, so it's 10 plus 3d6. So
oh, great.
It's 28.
So 25 plus 28, so
yes.
53.
Yes.
Oh, and I get to reroll ones. Okay, so that's my first attack. now I'm going to do my second attack. This is going
Wow.
to get faster. This is with advantage. Forgot that part. Does yeah, that's not going to hit. 14.
14 does not hit.
Yeah, didn't think so. And there's no other targets, so that
It
just
misses.
misses. All right, third shot. 22.
22 hits.
Sweet. All right, damage. That's 12 plus. Oh, that's sharpshooter, so that's plus 10, so that's 22 plus that 12. Sweet. So that's 34 damage for my second arrow that actually connects, and that'll be all
Okay.
for my turn. I'm also riding on the carpet as much as it takes me.
Sure. Then we bring it to Amelia. Amelia, you obviously have also control of the carpet.
Okay, well, Amelia would continue to move this thing forward at its snail's pace. And seeing that, I'm assuming Metolius looks pretty fucked up at this point.
He looks okay.
You look all right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Your bonus to our vitality is soaked some of the damage.
well, in that case, Amelia's gonna move the carpet forward with her and Eldon on it, and she's gonna try and hit this thing with another firebolt.
Okay.
So she's gonna roll that for another critical fail.
Oof.
Another shaft of glass left by your fireball.
And she's just gonna kind of shout out, "Do we really want to take this thing on? I'm pretty sure I could get us out of here if we need to." And that's gonna be her turn.
Okay. Rain.
All right, Rain's gonna continue to do what she does best and shoot from afar for a critical fail.
Your bolt flies high and sails out of sight.
Dang. Yeah, I guess that's my turn then. Not much else I can do.
Okay. Metolius, the wounds in front of you seem to glow for a moment and slowly seem to reform just a little bit.
All right. I'll yell around the worm to Grimtuck. I was like, "Are you seeing this?" And that's it.
As the worm rises up between the two of you and tries to grind Grimtuck into the dirt with a 24 to hit you. Grimtuck, you take 28 points of slashing damage as the worm's just grinding maw lands upon you, barely held back by the pyramol and your just unfettered rage. You feel pieces of it just like cut into your flesh as you just brace against it and throw it back.
I'm sure it's going to hit again, I think, right? Or does it only have the one?
As it grinds down upon you, Metolius, a quick flash, and the tail, the harpoon, shoots out towards you again.
Yes.
27 to hit you.
That'll do, pig.
19 points of piercing damage. I need you to make another Constitution saving throw.
Warcaster, then for the poison, then Warcaster for again. 20, which you hit me for 19, right? Okay, so yes, that passes. Now I make a con save plus a d4. Oh, I keep forgetting to add d4s. 25 for the poison.
Sounds good. You take a total of 21 points of poison damage.
Oh my god. Amelia. The place not looking so good now.
Heard that.
Okay.
Grimtug.
I will reckless attack and great weapon master, I guess. Take a swing on this guy.
Okay. And all of the three other people outside of the like main fray just see both of the sides of the worm just like flailing, like and just like spinning around the two of your companions that are still like just next to it.
That is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
That is 13 plus 13, it looks like. So 26 damage.
Okay.
22 to hit.
Hits.
And that would be 17, 18, 19, 20, 30 damage.
Okay.
As I just smash it with my hammer.
As you smash it with your hammer, large, just like, dents start appearing, and you hear clicking sounds, like the sound of like a broken mill, just like odd, like things aren't working together.
Gotcha.
Anything else, Grimtug?
I will circle around it as well. So I imagine I would have seen Metolius over there just getting the shit kicked out of him. There's a lot of blood on the sand over here. And I know this thing doesn't bleed. So I would make my way around.
Okay. Metolius.
Metolius is not looking super great. So he'll reach up and grab a prayer bead and as bonus action cast Cure Wounds on himself. Because that's how prayer beads work. Level 2. So I get a total of 13 health points back. And I'm going to hit this worm because it's making me mad. I don't have advantage anymore, but that's not going to stop me. That is a 23 to hit.
23 hits.
It takes 29 damage of various types, and I will pump a level 3 smite into him on top of that because I'm a little angry. So 29 plus 13, so 39, 42 points of damage.
Okay.
For the first hit. Is it still up and going? And
it is still up and going.
Alright, I'll strike again. My second attack. That's a 25 to hit.
25 hits.
15 damage, and I will smite it again at a 3rd level.
Okay.
So 31 total.
Okay. It is still up.
That's alright. Metolius, just bloodied and feeling the effects of this poison seeping into his wounds, just strikes out with a divine fury that has not yet been seen before. And he looks rough. And that's the end of his turn.
Okay, that brings it to Eldon's turn.
All right. How is this thing looking overall?
I don't think you'd be able to tell.
Okay.
There are holes and dents. Sounds are odd, but it is a giant mechanical grinding worm.
Yeah, fair. It's not something I'm used to seeing. Okay, so I'm just going to say to Amelia, I think I'm feeling optimistic. And I'm going to just keep plugging away with this thing. All right, hit. Once. Advantage. Sharpshooter, of course. And that is a 17 to hit?
17 doesn't hit.
Yeah, bummer. Okay. Well, carrying on. Second shot.
That does, though.
Critical. So that's 61 for
Okay.
that hit.
As you fire that previous shot, you see just like Grimtuck and Metolius standing firm below this creature. It rears up, and as it does, Eldon draws back, and you see this crack in the armor that Metolius had left from his previous attack. And you take that moment. You take that shot, and your arrow flies and cuts straight into the mechanisms inside. You see the worm rear up as though ready to strike once again. But then a horrid, screeching, retching sound just echoes through this like clay flats. As it does, it kind of twists and spins, and you see black, almost what looks to be smoke start pouring out of the open wounds as well as its mouth. And as it does, it just basically explodes into multiple pieces, just fly everywhere and crash into the clay. As this occurs, the world around you kind of goes quiet for a moment. And then the sounds of the kind of whipping winds seem to just catch your ears once again, as this gigantic beast lies motionless upon this clay floor.
I got it!
I think Metolius would just fall backwards onto the packed earth and just be coughing and hacking. He will put his hand to his chest, and I will expend 53 points of lay on hands.
That's a lot of...
That's a lot of hands to lay, yeah.
Getting
Yeah.
real handsy.
Yeah.
Amelia would continue to fly the carpet down to where they're at.
It doesn't take you too long once you get to that point.
Yeah, Brain also rejoins the group.
And so does Eldon after he hangs in suspended animation in the air for like 5 seconds more.
And Amelia would like come down and she would like reach out her hand and say, maybe it's best we ride the rest of the way.
Probably a good plan.
Indeed.
Matolia stands up and says, I don't know what you're talking about.
You look a little rough there, friend. Are you...
Actually,
you
he
okay?
would look... I mean, maybe his clothing is torn, but he would look unharmed after standing up.
All right, let me phrase it differently. That was a close call there, friend.
It was closer than you might think.
I don't know. It looked pretty close.
But how close was it?
So
It's a close one.
I don't think we could all fit on the carpet.
We might move slower, but we don't have that far to go.
I guess you're right.
I have an idea. I tried to do it while we were... Well, after we caught... That thing caught sight of us, but... perhaps I could summon a disc, and we could float along behind, riding on this disc.
Taking a look around, does it seem safe enough to do that here now?
As far as you can tell, I'd say roll a perception check.
A 10.
You see no movement, a lot of roiled ground, but nothing seemingly coming towards you.
Before I do that, I would like to spend some time looking at the corpse of this thing and like trying to figure it out. What's it got going on? It's clockwork. That's crazy. What's going on? Gears inside? What?
Okay, roll an investigation check.
As he starts to do this, Amelia is just going to kind of be like, well, which is it? Are we taking this thing apart, or are you making a disc so we can get out of here?
I thought I would take a look and then make the disc. I feel like we...
Amelia's just going to continue scanning the horizons, just paranoid as shit now.
It's also nighttime.
That's exactly why she's paranoid. 'Cause she
Okay.
can't see as much. After what she saw last night, she ain't trying to fuck around out here.
With it being nighttime, even with your dark vision, Eldon, it's hard to kind of grasp what all is within this creature, though your investigation check yields that it does have a similar make to things like clocks. Like the clockwork isn't a lie, it's a large amount of fine, intricate pieces moving into themselves as though the ticking of a clock. I don't think automatons are really something you know or would have any experience with per se.
No.
So that would be the closest thing I think you, from your knowledge, you would know of.
I'd like to take like a couple of smaller gears, if possible, as like a little trophy.
Okay, sure. Roll me a survival check.
A 7.
I would say you find one decent gear in the piece that you have in front of you. The rest is both exceptionally hot from the destruction of this thing, as well as you reach in and you like cut yourself on something. Actually, take 1 point of damage for me, please. That natural
I
one
knocked
takes...
myself into you taking some damage.
Yeah. You're able to find about the total of about, I would say, 2 gears that you could bring and keep on your person without it being like gigantic size.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I was just looking for a trinket. Okay. Ow! It's sharp.
You guys, this thing has elf blood inside of it.
Oh no, do you think that's a problem?
it reseals itself and comes back to life.
We shouldn't wait around to find out.
All right. Enough faffing about. I will.
How far away is our destination, DM?
It is a few hundred feet from where you are.
Oh.
It's not that far.
Oh. We should
Let's just go.
Let's just walk. Or fly on the carpet even though it's slow. Whatever.
I mean, I can take 10 minutes and summon this thing.
No. It
We
will
can
take
be there in 3.
Yeah. It'll take us less than 10 minutes to walk there. Let's just do it.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. We'll
So
walk.
we fly very slowly on the carpet all together.
Yeah, Amelia like tells whoever wants to get on because she's getting out of here.
Rain does.
And once they're on, Amelia would take off.
I think everyone gets back on the carpet, correct?
We do.
Yeah, we all get on the carpet.
Okay.
Yep.
So you all fly. The first thing you fly towards is these 2 gigantic obelisks, about 100 feet tall, made of like black stone. It's darker than the night sky that it rests against, but they're also quite far away from you. They are not like in front of you. They're on either side, kind of giving this almost wall-like quality to this. You're not sure. but you pass through it and you notice that the ground around it turns almost back to what looks to be soft sand as soon as you pass these obelisks.
Amelia would just keep moving forward.
Okay.
Yep.
You move farther and farther, and as you do, ahead of you, the spots of green you caught sight of from a distance grow larger and larger. And as they do, you notice that moonlight kind of shines and hits against a large pool of water. No longer questioning if this is a mirage, but instead, this pristine pool sits almost completely out of place in the very dead center of this wasteland. As you move closer, you notice that to the west of this pool sits from a distance what looks to be maybe like a large hill or maybe a small mountain or plateau. But as you get closer, you notice geometric shapes. You notice made shapes sticking out of bits of sand and things like that. As you move closer and closer, you see that a building lies covered and buried, or at least kind of filtered back into the desert around it. It's hard to exactly tell how large it was at one point, how much is buried underneath it, the sand itself. But from what you've been told, this would be, and from what Grimtuck remembers just staring off into this direction, this should be where the library is. A cooler air, though cold at night a desert is, cooler air blows across as air kind of catches off the oasis river in front of you.
Amelia will kind of pull up between the two and say, well, where are we headed?
I assume toward that building or the ruin. I thought she said this was an archive, Grimtuck.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I remember the specifics, just bits and pieces.
Roll me a history check, Grimtuck. You take a moment and you kind of think as you stare off at these, like, what seem to be now ruins. And you can swear the small hints of memories you still hold from Bells. This archive stood as like a testament of knowledge. This one, tall pillars, large open areas, and beautiful amidst just a plain of sand. But now what sits in front of you resembles more ruins that can be found more so on the mainland within the desert areas you have traveled across. Though I would say, compared to what you see around you, this kind of fertile area is almost a juxtaposition to anything you've seen so far.
Does it look like there's enough ruins here to constitute what I remember the buildings looking like?
To answer that question, yes. There is enough material here to fit into what could have been the library.
Okay.
Maybe fallen, but here.
All right. Let's just say, I think this is what's left of it. I'm just going to start walking towards and onto the rubble, like slowly, just kind of looking around to see.
You're still a little far away,
Oh, okay.
and I would like you all to roll me a perception check, please.
Natural 20 for Amelia.
Ooh.
18 for Metolius. I rolled 2 12s.
7 for Rain.
10 for Eldon.
Amelia, Grimtuck, Metolius, as you kind of look around, you see that, again, as I said, the outside of this resembles ruins that you've seen, fallen arches, caved-in doors filled with sands, alcoves that are completely stifled by what has now been blown into them. What once may have been traversed now stands plugged up like a cork of a wine bottle. But the three of you do notice that there is seemingly one entrance that remains open to this, say, crypt of knowledge. A doorway no more than about 15 feet tall, with no door, sits at basically the farthest. If you're looking towards it, it would be the northern corner or to your right.
Amelia would begin to head the carpet over there.
Okay. The carpet glides above the sands, and as you get closer, you notice that the hallway seems to go down. You get closer and closer, and you notice that though it is night and there's a bit of, moonlight out here, you see that the hallway seems to go farther in. Though again, you're a bit far off. It's hard to say how far in.
Yeah, just keep heading towards it.
Okay. At this point, as the carpet moves that fast, you probably are about maybe 30 feet away from the entrance. Getting close, maybe now 20.
Does it look like we could fly the carpet into the building?
I think the entrance would be the archway, though tall, isn't very wide. It would not really fit all of you on the carpet.
Amelia would kind of look around at everybody. Well, shall we? Do we need to do anything before we head in?
I'm ready.
I'm ready, and I'll jump off the carpet and land on the sandy stones.
Yeah, I'll land elf-like next to him.
You're just showing up the half-elf. That's rude. So as you both land off the carpet, you feel the sense of cobble underneath your feet covered by, layers of sand. A firmness to the ground shows that once may have been somewhat of an entrance or like a small pathway here. But now years of dust and sand blowing over have left it covered and sunken. Ahead of you, again, a thin but tall passageway enters. You both looking down it can see that it goes probably about 30, 40 feet down, and at the end turns off past where you can see a few rays of moonlight shine in through holes from somewhere within this hallway.
Metolius would close his eyes and take a deep breath, and when he opens his eyes, they are glowing with a silver light, and he would use his divine sense to reach out and see if there is anything affected by the Hallow spell, or there are celestial fiends or undead within 60 feet that are not behind total cover.
You feel nothing.
I don't feel the presence of anything evil or divine here. But perhaps once we move inward, that will change. I can reach my senses out again later.
Amelia would land the carpet and roll it up. Would it fit in the bag of holding?
I'm trying to think if rolled up a 9-foot carpet would be small enough to fit within the opening of a bag of holding. I don't think so.
Put it in the hole.
Grimtuck, would you mind laying out the hole so we can put this away for now?
Yeah, sure, no problem. I'll just fold it out on the ground.
Yeah, toss it in.
Okay.
Well, I'm ready.
Let's get a marching order.
I kick Eldon in the hole. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, the world ends because
Yeah.
I'm still wearing my quiver.
So Grimtuck's first. Who's next?
Unless you guys want me to scout ahead at all.
Sure.
It's up
Yeah.
to you.
It's not a bad idea.
So, Rain, then Grimtuck.
Mhm.
Then maybe Amelia.
Sure. I can provide us some light as well.
I'll go after Amelia, and Eldon, you take up the rear.
Sounds good.
Once we start to head in, Amelia would summon the dust staff and cast light on it.
Okay. Rain, you start to head towards this entrance. What do you do?
Stealth, first off.
Okay, roll me stealth.
That'll be a 25.
Excellent. You feel you're stealthy. You see Rain get into her stance as she slinks across the sands towards the doorway.
And I don't want to go, crazy far in, no more than, 30 to 50 feet away from the entrance, but just see if I can get a scope. If I see anything living.
Sure. Absolutely.
See anything of particular interest. Anything looks
You're having
dangerous.
everyone hold back so you can kind of sneak ahead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
Amelia
look
would specifically hold back far enough to where her light is not exposing Rain or anything as she
Right.
sneaks forward.
So as you all stand basically at the entrance, as you let Rain do her process, as she moves 5, then 10, then 15 feet in, as soon as she hits 15 feet, Rain is gone. Just disappears. Behind her, the flat plain of the world where she had been that moment before ripples like water. It changes and flows and moves, and as it does, it distorts enough where now it is hard to see through this hallway. But like water, it also slows and returns to that clear, unaired state. And as we figure out what happened to Rain, and as you decide what you do next, I would like to take the break now. Hey y'all, Chris here. Wanted to take the moment to let you know that if you're not listening to the Help Action podcast, you're missing out. Our very own Justin Dixon and a few other DMs offer the Help Action to give you incredible insight to bring back to your own game. Find it at help-action.com. Also, if you're happening to look for that D&D swag, check out Jess's Etsy store for some beautiful crochet dice bags. Give your dice hoard a wonderful home to rest. Find it at etsy.com/shop/necrotic-damage. And finally, if you're looking for a good watch and a fun time, check out Chris's, that's mine, Twitch stream, where he plays a variety of games and puts on a dang entertaining show. Check it out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time at twitch.tv/DrackMoreDigital. Okay, let's get back to the action. So yes, you all stand there and see Rain blink out of existence, leaving behind a ripple in space.
Amelia holds up the dusk staff and to like shine her light on the thing, and she turns to Grimtuck and she says, "Should we be worried about that?"
Do I remember any of this?
This does not seem familiar.
I don't think I've ever seen Rain do that before, but I think you would know more than me if that's something that I should be concerned about.
She did roll a 25.
She's very well stealthed.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just
She's so
disappeared.
good.
I don't know. The shit happened. We're all really powerful. Maybe she's
Thing
just...
that happened with the air, that you don't remember that from Belle's memories? That doesn't.
I thought
seem...
you did that.
I didn't do that.
No, I didn't do that.
Maybe I did it.
What?
Do you have magical powers now?
I mean, the animal spirits give me
Other than
cool shit.
Yes, that's true.
So I get to do a lot of cool shit there, but
Yeah.
I don't even know half of it. I don't even know most of it, what it does. So maybe I did. It's tough to say.
I haven't seen you eat any mushrooms today, so I didn't think you were on the level as you like to get.
I'm gonna chuck a rock through that door.
Okay. You chuck a rock. It disappears with another smaller but equal ripple. Rain.
Do I get hit in the back of the head with a rock?
Well, you haven't even gone through give me a sec. Rain, around you, your body feels pulled. Your whole form just is dragged through this kaleidoscopic just spiral of movement, light, and space. It's hard to tell where up and down begin and end, but you feel as though an eternity passes until you blink and find yourself in a bright, open, beautiful entryway to this palatial building. The ceiling is glass, showing a bright sunlit sky. The ground almost looks like clouds, though your feet rest upon it. To either side, large open walls kind of arc and sandwich both sides of this. To the way there are these what look to be large terraces on either side of this that seem to look over into a blue sky. Ahead of you, an odd creature, which I will get back to in a moment, stands. As the sensation of a hefty rock knocks you in the back of the head and your vision goes blurry between pain for a moment as we go back to the group at hand.
As Grimtuck is picking up another rock and looking at the rest of the team and being like, huh?
Amelia's like slowly creeping forward, trying to hold the light out to see if she can like spot anything and trying to not cross this.
You notice that the ripples subside quickly. And though while they are there, they catch the light like water does, when they are not, they do not as well.
How much time has passed on our side of the door?
And Grimtuck just threw a rock. I mean, Rain just disappeared. Grimtuck then threw a rock. So minutes, seconds.
Seconds? Okay.
Should we go in after her?
Yep. Probably. We shouldn't leave her by herself.
I absolutely agree.
She hasn't been in very long.
Ladies first.
Amelia turns around and walks through.
A moment later, Amelia disappears. In front of you, a large ripple echoes across the surface of this entryway.
Well, boys.
All right.
A leap of
too.
faith.
The three of you turn around and walk away.
Well, let's go find the barmaids.
Yep, going in.
Okay. One after another of you do the same. It is a step between here and infinity as you enter into this and find yourself gone. In turn, you also see these odd, almost unfathomable sights as you pass through this gate to the other side, where you find Rain rubbing her head. Just a little wetness can be spotted amongst her dark hair as a rock lays on the ground. Behind you, your companions appear as well as out of thin air. There's no ripple on this side.
Good lord, Grimtuck.
I didn't know she was...
You're trying to
What?
kill her or something?
You threw the rock. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
No, I did not, Grimtuck. I would
Yeah,
never
he
throw
did.
a rock
Rain.
at...
He didn't know. He was afraid of the door, and he just threw a
I was
rock.
like holding my head, like, why did either of you throw a rock? I don't care who threw the rock.
Well, if you do end up caring who threw the rock, it was Metolius.
Do I seem like the kind who throws rocks?
You kicked me into a hole.
Yeah, because
He has a point.
you're a big beefy boy.
I'm pretty sure you're exactly the type that would throw a rock. What the fuck is this place, by the way?
Yeah, Amelia, like, is just... She would have seen Rain and then tried to take in whatever was around us.
I did not throw the rock, just to set the record straight. I would never throw a rock. I would kick Grimtuck ahead of us because he is a giant slab of meat that can take a hit. Rain is not a giant slab of meat that can take a hit. I would never kick her forward.
Hey, I can take a hit, clearly. I'm not
I
dead.
mean, we've seen you take a hit or two.
You're protesting a lot. I think you might protest too much. Could be.
Oh, is that
I
so?
think. Yeah.
What?
The paladin
Think so.
does protest too much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I was trying to say it in a Grimtuck way.
Which is hilarious because in the context, protest means praying, which is apt. But that's not the point. Here,
Rock
Another
thrower.
point.
neck snapper.
In front of you, the giant creature that has been standing there the whole time.
That Amelia is apparently just staring at.
Grimtuck will, behind him, throw the other rock he was holding back through the door.
And that is the exact look it's giving us
Boys,
right
there's
now.
a thing.
In the middle of this cloud-like balcony, this opening, this entryway, this creature stands and goes, "Silence!"
Good first impression, guys.
Yeah, Amelia's just been like looking back and forth between this thing and the group, just being like, what is happening?
Your presence has been requested by the librarians. Please follow me.
Do I recognize this thing?
You could roll a nature check.
How about a 10?
Nope, but it looks very mechanical. Maybe it's something to do with that worm.
Guys, we might want to be careful. This thing could be an agent of that worm.
It probably doesn't take kindly to rock throwers, Grimtuck.
Yeah, I mean, not like I kill giant mechanical worms or anything because I can't run because I have tiny stubby little legs and then we all get in trouble for killing a giant fucking worm thing.
Well, you concentrate too much on your upper body. You gotta really do a leg day. You gotta...
I'm saying that your stubby legs, motherfucker. You're slow as shit.
Oh, I'm full of shit. Recall who was lagging behind the worm.
Yeah, you were supposed to outrun it instead of just stand there, but no, your tiny
I
little
was
legs
trying
are
to
pumping.
save the woman.
You're like, I've seen gnomes
that
run
you
faster than you.
Love? Fornicate with?
This
I don't
thing
know.
holds out its arms and looks at the rest of you as you two bicker in the back and just goes, "Are they always like this?"
Amelia would step forward and kind of like take a spot by his side and just kind of be like, yes, they are all the time.
This isn't like 10 voices too. Like you just hear like an echo, and echo.
And as they kind of bicker, Amelia's just like, so who's the librarian?
Follow.
Try to keep up, Metolius, with your tiny legs.
Oh my god, dude.
More importantly, how do people keep knowing that we were going to show up somewhere?
In terrain, this thing was there literally the second you appeared. It was like right in front of you as you appeared out of nowhere, and then you got bonked in the back of the skull.
By the rock that Grimtuck threw.
Yeah. Oh my god. Don't make me justify both of you. I will.
It's still not proven.
I'm this close to stopping, to turning this floating citadel around.
I'm
Gonna turn this carpet around, guys.
Yeah.
The creature does. He turns back around and probably doesn't actually question if this is always, but for comedic effect he does. Instead, he turns around and slowly but intentionally steps forward, leading you towards what looks to be a gathering hall of some kind, high arches with what seem to be 3 small balconies centered at the back of the room, raised about probably 15 or so feet above the floor which you stand. Basically, on either side of this, there is a large column, and on the right, there is another one of these creatures, standing perfectly still except for the singular eye staring directly at you all. And as you move to probably about 30 or 40 feet away from these raised platforms, you notice that behind the pillars, there are large entryways or hallways that seem to break off to a direction you can't exactly see between the giant constructs and these raised balconies. As it gets to that point, it stops and with a few intentional steps turns and goes, "Please, they will see you now." Again, in a chorus of voices. It then steps back over and seems to retake its place where it stands on the opposing column from its seeming companion. As you probably look around, as you do, you see 2 archways on either side. Past the kind of terraces you had seen from your entrance, where you came from. Past that, there are 2 more archways, and they seem to hold a placard high above them, and seem to be written in common tongue as far as you can tell. And 2 words sit there. To the, well, from where you stand, the west, the word Oerth is carved into this tablet as though a sign or a label on this entryway. The other, another carved tablet sitting high above this arch, is Exandria. It turns off and you're not able to see exactly what sits down these hallways, but they are there.
If Metolius turns and looks through the archway we just came through, is there a tablet with a name?
There is. And actually, I would say probably during your conversation between Grimtuck, you probably would have looked back and you would have seen a tablet scrawled above, and it says Toril Abir.
I will point that out to Eldon specifically, but anyone else who's looking.
That is very curious. I wonder if we are no longer on that plane.
I don't think we are.
Then where are we?
I think we're in the Archives of Order, but where is that? I have no idea. So we are looking forward, and there's 3
balconies set about 15 feet up. Before that are 2 archways. They are not the ones that are labeled. They are just there. Then the giant constructs, then 2 more archways, and then 2 open air balconies on either side. And then, of course, the archway you came through.
Well,
it is a long hallway, but it ends here. And as you stand, I'd say you all get this odd sensation for a moment. Just a pressure or a presence. As 3 figures step forward, 1 in each of the archways.
Maybe this is who we need to speak to. Hello there! As I enter the room. Hail and well met!
You see a large demonic form. Red, scaled, winged and tailed, horns upon its head, red glowing eyes step forward. An odd symbol, like two descending points and a triangle hovering above, sits upon a large golden necklace.
At the sight of that creature, I would definitely reach for my axe, but I will not draw it.
As you reach for the axe, you see the two constructs instantly react to that motion. They stand there, their arms outstretched, their eyes only upon you.
I notice them looking at me, and I will take my hand off my axe.
This is on the red creature, the demonic one, set upon the eastern side, the rightmost of these balconies, while the center, a furred, winged, lion-like creature with almost humanoid features upon its face, sits with another symbol around its neck of an eye with orbs filling the iris and pupil. And finally, a beautiful, bald, green-skinned, white-winged, angelic being steps forth from the westernmost. This, upon its form, a shield-like shape with a hammer and two scales. All three enter into the area. They stand there, and you hear, or you see, the creature in the center. I would say, actually, if you all want to roll me nature checks, I would love to see if you know what these creatures are.
Amelia got a 15.
Grimtuck got a natural 20.
Yeah, so did Rain for a 22.
Metolius rolled a 9, but I have a feeling that he would know
I think you'd know.
a little bit about at least the two on the left and right.
Yes.
I don't know, that's a 9.
I mean, I rolled an 8, so I'm pretty sure these are beings not of this world.
Metolius is crushed with guilt from throwing rocks at people, so he just can't concentrate. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's it.
The center being speaks and goes, "You, travelers, have stepped into a tomb, a repository of wisdom.
Indeed. We have come seeking knowledge, and I believe an artifact or an item of some import. We seek to save our world from a dire threat."
The large lion-like creature with long, feathery wings sits and looks at their companions. Now, the fiend steps forward, large red scales and leathery wings, kind of rushes back, an arrogance to it, kind of sits and goes, "What do beings such as yourself need with this place? What can you all do to save the world?"
We seek an item, the heart of Corellin. It was used to seal this threat away on our world long ago. We seek to stop those who would encase the world in darkness and ice.
The third emerald-skinned, bald creature with long, white feathered wings stands there, and for a moment, its eyes, these beautiful, brilliant white eyes, catch Amelia's, and it stares for a moment, a little too long, but then stops and goes, "We know of this item, but what gives you the right or purpose to find it?"
We will take the right with conquest, if need be. But we are not leaving without this item. Our world is at risk of dying.
You see the large red creature cackle at this.
It seems you believe you would be able to take it with force. But this is not our way. We are not here to ask for prowess in battle. We are here as servants of knowledge. We hold it to be a high truth above all else.
I look to the rest of the team and say, I didn't expect that answer from that guy.
Yeah, well, how could we prove our worth to you? What could we do to earn the trust or acceptance of those who bask in all of this knowledge?
The lion-maned creature kind of sits and looks between the other two and goes,
What is this force you stand against?
A elder being from beyond our world, from beyond all world. They call it Father Limmick.
Yeah, and he's got some asshole kids, too.
He threatens to bring our world into darkness and everlasting winter.
At that statement, all three speak as one. The cacophony that occurs is almost painful, but they all say,
Yes, we all know of the Father. We know this creature. Ones have come before, and now you seek to face it.
They all stop their tandem speech, and once again, now the angelic being chimes in and goes,
Do you all feel? Do you know what you face? Do you know the gravity that the world is in, the danger that faces it and yourselves?
Yes and no. We've had visions. Hints, but that's all. We've seen these creatures. Didn't follow it. We walked in the steps of the people who were here before and saw them die as they fought those creatures. We've walked as those creatures in visions and dreams and seen them lay waste to the people of this world. We've seen them turn them into monsters, and those monsters in turn kill everything around them.
Now the red fiend,
And you all feel as though you would stand against this.
Yes.
As surely as I would stand against the forces of the Nine Hells themselves.
Even you, little one.
his red glare stares over to Amelia for that, as they're speaking only to her.
Amelia gets kind of like uncomfortable and weird and doesn't know why. I don't know if I or any of us are capable of defeating this Limmick. I have not seen the horrors that they have, but I know we must try.
He cackles once again now, a laugh that fills the room, almost a guttural, unclean laugh as it does. Looks over at its angelic companion and goes, "This pitiful creature doesn't even remember what it once was. How can it think to defeat such a beast?" Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
What do you mean?
And at that, as it says that last part, you see the green-skinned creatures, the angelic beings' eyes flare white and go, "You know the defined agree, Affabel. Your silver tongue dances dangerously close to violating them." And you hear them begin to go back and forth for a moment until finally a roar, an animalistic but deafening roar, echoes out as the lion-faced creature in the center fills the room and says,
There shall be order within these halls.
A moment later, silence, and the two creatures halt their back and forth.
Once they stop, Amelia says, What did they mean? What did they mean by that?
Little one, it is not for us to inform you of these queries.
But then how do I find out?
It is not knowledge that we hold, nor is it knowledge that we can give.
Do you know where?
He kind of gives a look, its eyes glowing this gold, looks back and forth between its companions with a solemn but also anger-filled look.
We do not, or does not our place. What we do know, and what we have, is the knowledge of where you must go, not to find what you search for, little one, but what you all search for. If you feel as though your power, your ability will hold you, then find Zartan's Rest, high to the northeast. Within the desert these ruins sit. Within you shall find the item you wished you are looking for.
The item we seek is not here. It is
Protected away.
As you found. And now chimes in the red companion, as you saw. And finally the green, as you did. The entrance to the archives are open to those who can find it. The stone that you seek is protected and a way for those who search for it. Find us the stone within the rest, and the heart that you look for will be yours.
You wish us to return with this stone, and we shall have what we seek.
Prove yourselves worthy, and you shall have what you seek.
Many have spoken well of themselves and fallen, just the same to dust.
I will look to everyone else.
I mean, I'm not even quite... Like, is that like, are they talking in riddles, or...
You see the red one kind of chime in with a hiss.
No, green skin. Find us the stone. Get the heart.
What do creatures like you need with this thing? You who dwell here at this
I dwell
crossroads.
here. We dwell here as a gift, as an honor. Pay respect.
I don't know anything about you or what you are. You've told us next to nothing.
Clearly beings such as these, and I will motion to the devil and the angel. Two opposite ends of a similar coin would be at each other's throat anywhere else, Grimtuck. There is an accord that has been struck here. I do not know what it is, but this situation is unique.
I agree. But just because it's unique, it doesn't mean that it instantly commands our respect.
That's fair.
But I guess we don't have a choice. We're here now.
They have something we search for, and they want us to do something for them, so...
If we get you this thing, you'll tell us the origin of this creature that we seek to kill. You'll tell us what it is that we hunt.
If you gather what we wish.
And this time, the fiend quiets, and the angel chimes in. If you bring it back, we... And at this point, the lion finishes. Will
offer the information that you seek, as well as the item.
I would stare at the lion looking one and say, I don't care for these other two, but we'll hold you to your word. We'll get you this thing, but no parables, no riddles, no stories from ancient times that just raise more questions. For the first time since I've got to this fucking island, straight answers. Agreed?
You will have your knowledge, for that is what we hold. Above all else is what we protect.
At that point, Amelia would kind of storm forward and she would say, and what of the knowledge I seek? My life. You speak of things that I've been searching for this entire time as if they're nothing to you. Just give me a clue, something.
You hear the footsteps of the large creature that stood as a guard behind you. The three of them look upon your party but do not turn a gaze to you as you approach. And the robotic or construction walks towards you, a hand out, and places it upon your shoulder, lightly, but with intention.
I mean, Amelia just kind of stands where she's at and stares at them, kind of trembling.
The lion at the center breaks its gaze at your companions and looks down upon you and says, the knowledge you seek
will not be found here. I am sorry for that. My companions misspoke.
Amelia would just dart looks over to the sides at each of them and then turn around and walk away. Walk past the group and walk back towards the entrance they came from.
If Amelia turns and walks, I will turn and walk as well.
As the giant creature kind of steps back and back into position, you hear an echoing voice out from the lion and goes, Elf,
Sir, Eldon, Lunare, we know all of your given names. It is a vault of knowledge which we sit upon. That is paltry at best. We also know you have pieces of a creature upon you.
And at this, you hear this kind of whistle come from the lion, as it does not have opposable thumbs. And small, odd, spherical creatures on long, spindly legs, two from each side, kind of scamper out. A single orbular eye stuck into the center of it. They all kind of scamper out towards you, Eldon.
Would you please return these trophies you took? For they are need be replaced, as the creature will be fixed.
Why do you intend to fix the creature? It almost killed a friend of mine.
And now the pit fiend kind of, again, gives a slight chuckle.
Yes, it did its job. Sadly, not well enough. If it was to kill you, or any of you, then you are not ready or prepared or meant to find joy here.
And the green skin chimes in too on this and goes,
It is true. If you are not strong enough to make it through the worm's land, think of it more as a deterrent, a deadly one, for the knowledge in this library, in these archives, is more precious than the gold in the world.
Believe me, I understand. I do. I am also a student of knowledge, and part of why I have taken these is because of their uniqueness. I desire to study them. I desire to learn more and to remember. If you need them, well, we need what you have. I do not wish you ill will, but I do wish to learn more. Is there something else that perhaps I could take with me?
If you succeed in what you search for, we'll offer you knowledge of the creature, though its creator may no longer be. a part of your world. His knowledge can be passed upon to you.
That is exactly what I would... That is great.
Though, we do not know if one such as yourself would find any true use of it.
I would like it to see it nonetheless.
Again, the small creatures, spindly arms, spindly legs, thin almost as like a fine stiletto. Also in seemingly gear-like fashion, though they look more like the guards.
I'll pull out the gears and I'll give them sort of like a long look before holding them in my hand for the minions.
Mm-hmm. They quickly take them, and in return, they also run past and disappear through the entryway. As they do that, you also hear,
"Know that the creature will not hunt until we are satisfied with our conditions. And then, if your survival is seen, it will no longer hunt you or your companions."
See, all we have to do is find this thing for them, and we won't get attacked by any more mechanical monstrosities out there.
That appears to be the deal. Is there any assistance that you can provide? Do you know what this thing is? Or is this just a test? Or do you legitimately seek it?
all three of them chime in now. Again, the echo of the voices together rings in this odd sequence, but it goes, "Find the resting place. Zaratans rest in the northeast corner of this desert. There, return the stone held within." And that is all they give you.
Okay. Find Zaratans rest in the northeast corner of the desert.
Well then, we probably should get moving.
Amelia, did you just run back into the portal?
She didn't run, but yeah, she would have walked all the way back through.
Okay.
She would have walked all the way back through, and she probably would be like waiting like at the entryway of the place, like at the end of the hallway, just kind of like leaning against the wall.
So Amelia, out of nowhere,
As Metolius enters back through, and he would put his hand on her shoulder. "Are you all right?"
It'd be better if they would tell me what I'm wanting to know.
As I walk out, they probably don't know everything.
It sort of seemed like they knew something about Amelia, though.
They know much more than I know.
Perhaps they are forbidden to speak of it.
Well, they spoke of it.
True, they did. But in a roundabout fashion. I would be, in your shoes, I would be equally as frustrated. I'm sure we'll get answers eventually. If not from these individuals, then we will find answers elsewhere.
Amelia doesn't really say anything. She just kind of nods her head.
We wait for everyone else to come out of the portal.
Yeah. Do the three of you that have not specifically stated that you left do anything before you do?
I would just kind of take it all in for a minute and just meet all of their gaze long enough to kind of try to get a measure of them, and then turn around and leave.
I would say they look like exceptionally powerful beings, but none stand there threateningly. Even, the creature that looks mildly threatening.
Just doing that, I would turn around and leave.
Okay. Rain?
Yep, once everyone else is gone, that's when Rain would turn around and go too.
Okay. Amelia, before Metolius got there, you would have seen those orb-like creatures pass by you and off into the desert. And yeah, you all find yourself back in the wastes outside of these ruins, next to the oasis. A direction and a site to find, and I think this is where we're going to leave it for now.
Heyo, Chris here again. Just wanted to say thank you so much for listening to the podcast. If you want to keep up to date with us, check out our socials on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at /theswordcast. If you like what you heard and want to help us keep the lights on, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/theswordcast. the Swordcast, where for $5 a month you can hear Matt or Metolius run a few of us through the deadly halls of the Tomb of Annihilation. Thank you all again, and don't worry, you'll be hearing from us soon. Bye-bye.